The Unopenable Wooden Box by David Maloney. September 14th, 2020. That's when it was written. It's being written by... Wow, I mispronounced that so badly. This was written by David Maloney on September 14th, 2020. And the person reading this to you right now, it's me, Lunar, on May 29th, 2022, 10:33 Eastern Standard Time in America. Estimated reading time, 3 minutes. As always with this, unrehearsed. So, let's see what the story is about. Well, of course, especially earlier on in this playlist, there's a lot of the much more well-known stories I know I've heard before. But let's get into it. The Unopenable Wooden Box by David Maloney. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It seemed just like an ordinary box. The wood was old and weathered. The fastenings were heavy brass, and the lid was inlaid with an ornate silver symbol. My father willed it to me after the state executed him for murder. He left no explanation or instructions, only a small, mysterious wooden box. There's the rest of the story. One moment. Okay. What? I'm so confused. What? That definitely wasn't 3 minutes worth. Okay. We're here. I have it open. Okay, now it's loading the rest of the story. I'm like, it's like, what the fuck's going on? At first, I considered tossing it into the river. The last thing I wanted was a reminder of the man that had abandoned his son in favor of a life of violence. But being the weak-willed person that I am, my curiosity soon overwhelmed me, and I could stand the mystery of the box no longer. Opening the box, however, was easier said than done. Attempts to pry open the latches with my hands yielded only abraded fingers and broken nails. Screwdrivers were snapped, hammers were shattered, and drill motors were burnt out, yet the contents of the box remained out of reach, encased in a wooden tomb. Determined not to yield its secrets, eventually I gave up doing what I've always done when I can't get what I want. I told myself that whatever was inside was not worth the effort. I did my best to forget about it, but the box would not allow me to forget so easily, and one night while I was sleeping, it opened of its own accord. I woke to an eerie silver luminescence that filled my bedroom, and a deep sense of pervasive cold that chilled the surroundings to absolute stillness. As I sat up in my bed, I overwhelmed by a sense of unfamiliarity, as if I had been transported somewhere that looked very much like my bedroom, but was home to someone or something else. The silver light was emanating from beneath my closet door, lending a sense of unreality to everything that bathed in the pallid sheen, casting odd shadows that seemed to creep and move in the corner of my eye. I could feel myself standing, though I had not willed myself to do so. And slowly, quietly, I crept toward the closet. My fingertips brushed the knob, recoiling for a moment from the penetrating cold. Then resolutely, firmly, I grasped it, pulling the door open to reveal the box. The hinges had sprung open wide. The light spilling forth was piercing and intense. My eyes filled up with light and felt as if they would soon burst, and yet I could not tear them away. I could feel myself falling slowly forward into an abyss of silver light that enveloped my horizon and became my entire being. Just before it swallowed me, the box snapped shut. I found myself on the floor, my sweat-drenched cheek pressed tight against the cold, rough wood of the box. I pushed myself back to my feet. The eerie silver light was gone, and my room seemed once again my own. Yet something was still not right. My cheek that had touched the box was throbbing with a burning pain. I wandered into the bathroom and flipped on the light, gasping at my grotesque reflection. The symbol on top of the box was burned into my cheek. I reached up to touch it, but as I did, so it faded. But the brand was not only the souvenir the box had left me with. I could feel a presence in me, an unwelcome guest inside my mind. I find myself missing time, awaking in strange locales, with blood splattered on my clothing. But that is not what worries me most. What worries me most is the call I received from my lawyer yesterday, asking for clarification on the amendment I had.
The world is still a violent place in which to live. NATO Rapid Response Helicopter Task Force has been established to combat a variety of potential flashpoint situations across the globe. Its code name, Firestorm. It's not.
Clarification on the amendment I had in my will. He wondered why the only thing I wanted to leave my son when I died was an unopenable wooden box. You know what? Part 40's still going to be unrehearsed. I'm not going to know what I'm going to read, but I know what the subject matter will be. On the creepypasta website, I'm going to type in the categories clown, and we'll see what comes up. I'll pick some sort of clown-related picture. I think I need a nap. You guys ever watch the Street Fighter movie? The one made like 2017, the Assassin's Fist movie? It's a really good movie. Yeah, I think I'll probably read the clown story, and then I'll probably get some sleep. I'm exhausted. I'm at least trying to be more social now. I drove to this mall. It's a really big mall. I hadn't actually. I think I've been there like once before in my life. And that was like about years and years and years ago. Really big place. It's always surprising how many people can be in one place. It's. I swear I don't have agoraphobia, but at the same time, it does make you feel a bit anxious. But the same way when I drive toward the big cities, when I see the skyscrapers in the distance, or just driving down the freeways with 5 or 6 lanes of traffic at a time, it makes you nervous. Then again, I've been in rock concerts and like really big places that were in like football stadiums. So I mean, I've been. So I've been in really big concerts before, and it can be fun. Though I don't think I can be in mosh pits anymore. My knees tend to hurt all the time anyway now. I did actually try talking to some people here and there, and heck, there was a few girls I tried to talk to and flirt a bit, so it went okay. Though I did feel a bit flustered and anxious and nervous, so I more so just put my foot in my mouth. But hey, it's a win. I tried. I tried to be socially interactive. Apparently, there are downsides of not being socially interactive for long periods of time. So, hey, that's a win. Even if, I just embarrass myself and get rejected. No. At least tried. Yay. That being said, I did get some books. So, I got The Odyssey by Homer. I got a collection of Edgar Allan Poe's stuff. I got a book about the Constitution. That'd be interesting to read. I also got some books on how to learn Japanese. Figure that would probably help. I also got some light novels. A novel called Berserk of Gluttony, which I really don't know what it's about, but it had a couple cool pictures, and also it had some pictures of, well, sexy women with big tits. So there's that. But, yeah, there's some stuff to do. I still think it'd be interesting to do some videos called Lunar Spice, where I might try some unusual spicy hot sauces. So, yeah. Oh, and Escape from Nazarick should come out in a couple weeks. So, I want to try to 100% that. A side note, I really should try to force myself to sleep more. Especially so I don't feel so exhausted when I'm at work. Especially since my job is a physical manual labor. I'm standing the whole fucking time. So, plus it's kind of hard to focus and do anything at a gym. You're starting to pass out. It wouldn't be a good idea to fall asleep while trying to do a bench press. That doesn't sound safe at all. But I'll say this. In general, I hope all of you are having a good day. And I prefer reading happier, light-hearted stuff, but I figured I'd do a few more of the creepypastas. Since I tend to read things of all alignments, if you will. So, but I'll say this. No matter who you are out there, I hope you're having a good day. And I wish you all the best. I definitely need to sleep more. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to say some sort of profound thing that, like, oh, here are words of encouragement from Lunar D8, saying how amazing you guys, the viewers, are, and how much, I want to encourage you guys to believe in yourselves and stuff. But honestly, as disappointing as it is, I can't think of a damn fucking thing to say. I can't. I can't think of anything. I really am trying. I want to say something positive and uplifting. But I just feel like, honestly, I should have bought a box of fucking fortune cookies. Because then I could have just broke the fucking fortune cookie open and read that to you guys. You know what? If Taco Bell's open at this time, I'll try to go there. Maybe get some Pepsi. I really want some ice cold Pepsi. And of course, I got the Mexican pizzas back. I still miss the volcano burritos. I still think it's funny that was one time I got lost when I was driving. Cops pulled me over. They thought I was a drug dealer and a gun dealer and shit. They just searched my car, found some 2 liters of Dr. Pepper and some volcano burritos. And they searched me, searched my car for like half hour plus. The only justification was like, oh yeah, you're not from around here. Well, of course I'm not from around here. I spent the past, I don't know how many hours driving through over half my fucking state trying to find my way home. At least I have GPS now. It's funny, I'm a fucking Eagle Scout, and yet it's like I've lost all sense of fucking direction. I had a sense of direction when I was younger. I could use a map and a compass and all that shit. Then again, same way. All the stuff I learned about camping, I don't remember any of that. Same way in high school. I took 3 years of Spanish. I don't remember any of it. I could do calculus and physics and chemistry equations and shit. I don't remember any of it. Hell, if you gave me basic fucking math and fractions and basic, you know, the NA plus whatever equations, I wouldn't remember anything anymore. I mean, I could probably relearn it, but honestly, I just feel too tired all the time. I I know I keep saying I probably will, and I keep putting it off. But I probably will have to start the hormone replacement at some point. You know, take the testosterone, just because my body, I feel like my muscles and everything keep getting weaker. I feel like I keep getting more tired. And emotionally, what's the best way to describe it? It's more of a feeling of indifference toward everything. Granted, if I were to start the hormones, I'd be healthier, but I'd also be dependent on the shit. And also, not really sure yet if the insurance would even cover that stuff, so if not, then whatever, I'll find another way, whether it's finding some sort of supplement from a vitamin shop, or maybe it's just the insomnia, maybe it's just me not really taking good care of myself. I don't know where I'm going with this. And of course, one major concern when it comes to that stuff is my family has a history of strokes and heart attacks and aneurysms. Hell, half the time I'm out of breath. Makes it harder and harder to even try to do anything on a fucking treadmill between my knees and just my chest and head hurting. Taking steroids would actually increase the risk of a heart attack or a stroke or an aneurysm. What would be the point of being healthier for a little while if it actually were to kill me? Funny thing is, it's just, yeah, I tend to be depressed a bit, but I don't want to die. I value my life. Same way I might feel upset with things, but it's just like I've never hurt anybody unless it's like self-defense or something. But it's just, And in general, I can't complain about life. Life's actually pretty good. And for the most part, I would say I am happy. I'm just, at times, maybe a bit tired. At other times, maybe it's just certain chemicals in the brain just aren't lining up the right way. But for the most part, I can't really complain. I have every reason to be happy. I'm alive, and life really isn't bad. Granted, sometimes at work I feel like I want to pass out, not just from lack of sleep. So a lot of times it's just I feel like my knees and back are giving out on me, and sometimes people I work with are just complete assholes. Hell, there's one person that work's been having me work with lately because no one else at work can stand the fucking person. So they're like, well, Lunar is the like I'm considered the most calm, emotionally stable person at work. I don't know what the fuck that means anymore. Granted, it's just because the fact that I really don't express things, and if I do, I'm always smiling at everyone. I'm being kind to everyone. If I see someone that's feeling a bit down, I try to cheer them up, and I'm usually the person that they, trust to actually train people, and they know that no matter what, I stay calm and I just sort of keep working and pushing myself, even if I'm exhausted or pissed. But it's irritating to work with somebody that gets angry at everyone for no reason. And just, they're always going out of their way to insult everyone. And like I said, on this one line where I'm having to work with that one person, it's like here lately they're having to work with somebody else. And honestly, I can see my coworker. He's doing the same thing a lot of other people are doing. And that is like, and here's the thing, I'll even hear management talking to each other about this person that this guy is having to train with next to me. And it's just, this person is just, I mean, it's, like I said, the job's not bad. It's just, it's tedious and it's like my shoulders hurt. Plus, part of me is like, well, upset at a lot of things, and sometimes consider just quitting my job. Like, well, if I could just quit my job and just starve myself for a few months while just doing push-ups nonstop, maybe I'd be more fit. But of course, that wouldn't be, you know, a sane thing to fucking do. That wouldn't be healthy. It wouldn't be responsible. But at the same time, it's just, sometimes I will eat more just because to keep up with work, or sometimes it's deal with stress. So because some people, and here's the thing, it's a funny thing. I remember back when my testosterone was like really high when I was younger, and I was still a very peaceful, kind person. Granted, there were people that pissed me off, but I never really. Granted, I mean, hell, I got bullied a shit ton in school, but I was never really an aggressive person. Hell, for all intents and purposes, even though I've watched movies like Hellraiser since the time I was a young child, I I don't know. I like the concept of pacifism. I like the idea of a world where no one hurts each other. A world just where everyone's kind to one another, where there's no violence at all. But I know that's unrealistic. And of course, you know, can't really call yourself a pacifist if, because I'm still feel people should have every right to defend themselves or defend others. But it's just, I don't know. I see the way a lot of people treat each other. I see things, hell, even in just media, in the commercials and movies. A lot of times it seems like they're trying to like push some sort of message onto people to get us all to hate each other. Doesn't matter what groups we're talking about. Any kind of division that we set between people doesn't matter. It just seems like everything's just, it wants everyone to hate each other. And it just, hell, I don't know if this just sounds like paranoia to people or not. Granted, I understand I probably have a bit of paranoia. I mean, I'm 35, I live alone, and yet I have means of defending myself. I have weapons to defend myself. I have my front and back doors locked. I have multiple alarms set. I have safety measures in place. And even my bedroom door right now, even though I'm fully awake right now, it's locked. It's closed. I have dumbbells stacked in front of it. And I even have a metal chair in front of it so that if someone were to push the dumbbells, it would, clink on the chair. But of course, there's also the alarms to go off. Sometimes I'll stand in my bathroom and talk to my reflection, and I'll be a bit concerned about my reflection, as if it might attack me. And the whole time I'm also glancing at the staircase to see if anything's coming up that staircase. After that mall I went to earlier, I stopped by a restaurant. And I know it sounds unreasonable, but I usually try to sit in a place, like when I first enter a restaurant, I'll try to covertly, non-suspiciously look at everyone in the building to see if there's anybody I know, to see if there's anybody that would be a threat to me, if there's anybody that's looking at me with the intention of trying to hurt me. Granted, that does sound unreasonable without prior information, but of course that stuff's not valid in most circumstances. It's just things stay with you. Even if they're in the past, they still bother you. Is it odd? And granted, I can sit there in that restaurant, but the whole time I'm occasionally glancing at everyone in the building, and I usually try to keep an eye on the door. That way I can see anytime anyone enters or leaves that building, so I know who's around me, know where everyone is, what everyone's doing, where they're looking. I think a creepypasta that put it well is that when I stepped on my airline or something, my flight attendant gave me a set of rules. During the story, at very early on, he fucked up following the rules, and then all of a sudden, everyone in the plane turned to look at him. Their faces distorted and smiled in a weird way, in a very malevolent way. Now, I'm not saying I see anything or anything like that. Of course not. Of course not. But even before I read that kind of story or anything like that, there's always that concern. And even then, that's still prevalent even today when I was at that restaurant. Sitting there calmly eating my food, drinking the Dr. Pepper. It's ice cold. I would have had Pepsi, but they didn't have It was a Coke establishment, so I don't really like the taste of Coke. Pepsi all the way. But in that case, I was like Dr. Pepper. But it's just the constant concern that everyone's going to just turn and everyone's going to stare at me. And then they're all going to come after me. I know that's unreasonable. I know that sounds a bit paranoid. I haven't had a relationship in years. Been alone since my divorce. And in general, dating, I think, is hard for most people nowadays. It seems like the modern dating scene, it's hard for anyone to actually meet anyone anymore. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people talk about things, and it's just like, that seems to be the normal anymore. I think everyone out there has trouble meeting or staying with anyone nowadays. Like I said, I at least tried to talk to some women today. I at least tried a little bit of flirting, I guess. But honestly, I was just very nervous and flustered. And eh, it's just, honestly, on the one hand, I'm used to being rejected over and over. And on the other hand, it's a relief when you are rejected. Because there's always that worry that if you do actually get a relationship with somebody, you're just going to end up getting hurt again. But it's even more than that. It's just, in general, I think I've gotten to the point that I'm just scared of people. Scared of even touching people, really. How? I'll probably give my mom a 5-second hug about once a month lately. And my son, due to circumstances, society, and all the COVID stuff that happened, like I said, he was coming over to spend the night just about every weekend. And then once the COVID lockdowns happened, I put restrictions on that. And since then, it's not too often I see him. At least I'll still see him sometimes, and at least when I don't, I can still face chat him on like Facebook and stuff. I at least make sure he knows that his dad loves him very much. I'm very proud of him. I remember before he was born, even then I would tell him every day that I loved him, I was proud of him. And up until the divorce, I mean, that was several years that he lived with me. I would tell him every single day, at least dozens and dozens of times, that I loved him and I was proud of him. I would hug him, play with him, change diapers, give him baths, take him to the park, read him stories, sing him songs, help him get to bed. Back when he was very young, before he was even old enough to even know what it was, I put constellations in his room. I got the little glowing stars of different sizes. I got a ruler, and I actually made constellations on his wall. I used the bigger sized stars from the brighter ones in the sky. I spaced things out to be I can't remember the word for it. Scale and scale to where if you look at the constellations, I did Cassiopeia, Orion, Little Dipper, Big Dipper, several others. I would say read the stories with him. Things like Winnie the Pooh, The Baby Bunny book. There's a... It's... Why can't I remember? It's the mouse book. I think it's Geronimo Stilton. Hold up, I'm gonna go walk to his room. Yeah, it's Geronimo Stilton. This one's The Flight of the Red Bandit. Yeah, back of the book goes, "Who is Geronimo Stilton? That's me. I run a newspaper. And my true passion is writing adventure stories. Here in New Mouse City, the capital of Mouse Island, my books are all bestsellers. My stories are funny. They mouse it. Yeah, it has puns. They are whisker-licking good tales, and that's a promise." I'm gonna go put it back in his room. I'm keeping the Zelda music box in there too. Brought it out here real quick. I'll go and play it again real quick. I still don't really know what pace I should really play this at. Be right back. Is it odd that each and every time I walked out into that hallway, I opened the door with some concern there's going to be something there. I look down the hallway, look in the bedroom, look in the bathroom, look down the stairs. Heck, even when I was in my son's room. Yes, it's easier to move it over with my foot. It's just... Is it... No, it's not normal, but I mean, how much of a concern is it really that when I'm talking to people out there in the real world, I can't help but feel how much they must hate me and how much they find me disgusting. And not because they'd have any real reason to. Like, I'm just saying, like, the random people at the mall that I tried talking to, or just passing by. And I guess at some degree, just got used to the idea. There really aren't any people out there, at least in the regard that I could interact with. Because at the end of the day, no matter who it is I might talk to. One, why would they want to talk to me? And two, if they did, more than likely it'd be because they'd be some danger to me. It's better to be invisible to people than to be a target. I don't know where I'm going with this. I think it's kind of like that one video I'd ever posted where I cried, like that 13 to 14 hour long video, which, like I said, I do go on some rants on these videos, but there are some videos that never get posted. Some where I just express too much, far more than what I've expressed now. But that one video, I at least re-record a couple excerpts out of it, mainly one of the Bendy song. And I called it Terrible Karaoke Anime Part. Terrible Karaoke Guess the Anime Character Part 7, I think. I did overuse my voice a bit there, not just for the singing. I wound up crying quite a bit to the point that my body, I guess, reacted from the stress of crying so much and started basically explosively vomiting everywhere. Just I got most of it in a bucket. Though at that time I had a mouse pad and a mouse, so that got ruined. Part of me thought it would be interesting to actually upload that video. Maybe from a scientific standpoint. You know, I'd be able to analyze the sound of the mental breakdown. Maybe it could be something for somebody to learn from, I guess. But just re-listening to that was just too painful. So I deleted it. It's more than just a feeling of embarrassment. It's more so it's just painful to listen to. I guess part of me probably hopes that it's like, you know, some sort of uplifting, happy story from it. That people could be like, oh yeah, Lunar was this sad and upset about shit. But look how happy and cheery he is now, and everything's better now. You know, that's a moral of the story, that no matter how sad you are, things will get better, and believe in the power of friendship and love and rainbows and stuff. And I don't know. Main point I'm just trying to say is I am happy. I am. I'm grateful for everything. It's just I do get stressed about some things. Sometimes I'm scared or sad. But I mean, we all go through those emotions. We all feel those things sometimes. And I don't know. Like I've said before, I never want anyone to pity me or anything like that. It's just, first and foremost, like first half of it is just, I just need to express how I feel in some way that's recorded. So that way, I feel I can just let it go and just, you know, move on and feel better. The second is the idea that maybe somebody out there will identify with how I feel. That other people out there feel the same way I do. And that maybe by me actually being open and being honest about how I feel, that if there are other people out there who feel the same way I do, that they'll at least get some kind of encouragement from it, or at least feel less alone. I don't know. At the end of the day, all I can say is I'm just this very selfish person who just wants to ramble at my computer instead of pacing my living room talking to myself. In general, this is a Let's Play channel for focus on comedy. But of course, in a truer sense, this channel's just a fun filtered form of me. Like, and I'll say this, I believe in God, I respect God. But there are things in the Bible I disagree with. And no matter how much I love God, no matter how much I respect God, no matter how much I'm grateful to God for creating me and sustaining my life, and for all the blessings He's given me, I would be remiss to deny that I'm also terrified of God. I'm scared of God. And when I look right down to it, there's really no reason for the rest of humanity to even like me. There's no reason for God to like me. The angels, the devil, the demons. Sometimes I feel like the world, God, and devil would all be in agreement that I'm just a fucking failure. I mean, there's nothing really special about me. I'm not good at any of the things I'm interested in. I'm not good at my guitar or drawing. And granted, I still intend to try to work at it and be better at it. But I'm not exactly special at anything. There's nothing that makes me of any more value than anyone else. And when it comes right down to it, just everything in this world pretty much fucking terrifies me. Granted, I've been given reasons to feel that way. Sometimes even by people who thought they meant well. Even though, looking back, the way those people behaved was extremely fucking psychotic. And I shouldn't let past things like that still have an effect on me. Same way, even worse so, the people who didn't mean well, the people who meant very badly. I still want to do one more creepypasta reading. Like I said, I'll just type in clown to the category search at creepypasta.com. I'll get something out of that. Like I said, in case anyone would be worried, no, I would never do anything to myself. Heck, if anything ever happens, send a search party or some shit. Because I'm never going to do a damn thing to hurt myself. If anything ever happens, it's somebody else did something to me. Or I had a heart attack. One of those things. But I'll never actually harm myself. I never would. I never will. I never have. But yeah, I plan to keep making these videos for the rest of the time. I could be 90 fucking years old. YouTube itself will probably go offline before I would stop making the videos. Unless YouTube itself decides to delete my channel. At which point I'll figure something else out so I can just be on Twitch or some shit. Though I don't want to be a partnership with Twitch. And same with YouTube. I won't ever want to make a cent off this channel. I don't want it to be an income. I don't want it to be a job. I just want to talk to people. Just want to play games. Just want to express myself. I just want to make a video and record it over what random silly thing pops in my head. Whether it's playing a video game, reading a book, reading Warhammer novels, playing Roblox, whatever, doing terrible karaoke, reading creepypastas, or here at some point, reading books on the U.S. Constitution, or Edgar Allan Poe, or the Odyssey, or light novels. Like I said, there's a light novel called Berserk Gluttony. I don't even know what it's about. Though I got volumes 1, 2, 3, and 5. I couldn't find 4. And of course, I want to try to. Well, Taco Bell is definitely closed now. Hold up, let me look that up on my phone. It does kind of suck ever since the COVID stuff. A lot of the stores, especially restaurants, like Taco Bell and stuff, are open like much shorter hours. Let me type Taco Bell into the search of Google once my phone loads it. It's open till midnight. Okay. Well, that gives me enough time to throw on some pants and go to Taco Bell. I need some ice cold Pepsi, guys. I will probably eat it. I will probably be eating Taco Bell during part 40 of this playlist. Main thing I just gotta say is this. Last thing I ever want is for anyone to ever pity me about a damn thing. I don't want anyone to pity me or feel sorry for me or any of that shit. I just need to talk about my feelings. And it does help me feel better. On top of that, there might be other people that feel the same way I do. So maybe it'll help them feel better. As narcissistic and insane as that makes me sound. Man. Okay, I really don't know what to say here, but I need to go get some Taco Bell, I guess. So, anyway, you guys, yeah. I'm also really tired, so hopefully I don't fall asleep driving to Taco Bell. At least I'll be fine on the drive back because I'll have Pepsi. But I could always get a Baja Blast. Okay, I'm kind of on the fence there. Bye, guys.